Our next speaker, as I've already mentioned, he is kind of a hybrid. He's a businessman stroke scholar. Professor Henry is the International Director of Business Research and a visiting professor at business school at University of Chester in the UK. His current and past academic affiliation includes fellowship at RAI. He has been in a number of universities. He got his PhD at Peking University. He has stayed in Canada and a Canadian citizen. He stays in the United States, and he is a native of China. And good friend, the podium is yours. 15, 20 minutes. And his talk is, which is going to be uploaded as we speak. He is looking whether all what is happening, the noise that we hear, is it trade war or media war?
About the re-globalization, I think on a practical level, to illustrate that re-globalization versus deglobalization, it's best described by this trade war or media war. I call it Trump's international political marketing. This is a new term, political marketing, international political marketing. I will explain in the later form. I'm so honored here be the beautiful campus of Johannesburg University and the beautiful country of South Africa. This is my first trip ever to Africa. And I'm afraid with such beautiful view, I'm talking about something about a war that's very not fitting to the surroundings. But for Confucius Institute, I'm going to talk more another person. Instead of Confucius, we know very well here, I'm talking about Sun Tzu, his Art of War, which he lives the similar time period with Kongzi. And also we talk about the art of media war. Mao Zedong is famous for his quotation on the newspaper is a weapon of politics, military, and economics. And we're familiar with Trump's quotation also. This actually is a real book, handbook about Trump's quotation. And this is my talk during CGTN news commentary, whether this trade war going on in between US and China. I call it more media war instead of a trade war. And Trump is very famous about using the art of war strategy for his war of business and now war of politics and the media war. His book is about the art of a deal. And now I think he's practicing another art of media war. That's his very good at also White House, the spinning machine against the media network. Is every day there's something going on for the media war. And here the small letters, I don't know if you can see, it's very updated Trump's media war quotation. His personal tweet on May 8th, he talked about very friendly about Chinese President Xi Jinping. He will have a 8:30 phone conversation with him, and back to April 11th, he will have the very international political marketing cards to play about China, play about North Korea, and play about Syria. That's his own quotation about how he would play this international political marketing. And we talk about the media war. This is art of media war in many applications, in military war, in cyber war. Also, on March 22nd, this is more media war applied to his domestic affair. We all know the stormy war story, and this is very interesting. I want to elaborate more. Is originally CBS scheduled an interview for Stormy Daniels on the 60 Minutes program, which is 1 week later on that March 22nd. But suddenly, CNN used to be on the left side, which is everyday fighting like a media war against the White House spinning machine. They suddenly put out an interview with another unknown person, the McDougal issue. Also, the similar was bought for $130,000 to keep silent. But this time, it's exposure. Nobody knows CNN's interview was such unexpected event. So under that kind of explosion, Trump, on the same day, starts the trade war with China. I don't know if this something related to his Sun Tzu strategy, how to direct the attention of the media. So there's all kinds of war between geoeconomics or geopolitics. And Sun Tzu's art of war is applied to commercial management field, even to the chicken war. And this, my sons love this, is the art of war for lovers, which 20 years old boy, they are really study hard on the art of lovers. And back to the old quotation from President Nixon, he's calling the press is the enemy. But more from that quotation, he's also calling the professors, which is at that time, the intellectuals criticized his Watergate event, and he called the professors also enemy. I hope our students here don't think so. And the famous quote from Tony Blair is, the media is the only sector which is not under public scrutiny. I like this book very much, but the only one thing different is he published the book after his political life. And this is CNN, how to fight the fake news war, which every day there's a channel of CNN. I guess they have a CNN International, that's what usually we see abroad. But in domestically, they have two channels, headline news and CNN breaking news. That's like every day dealing with current affair in the White House, in the country. Mostly it's criticize what Trump is doing in the White House. And it's like soap opera. I can watch every day. And this, of course, the war propaganda or terrorism propaganda. It's seriously about the media war, which is being practiced every day, but not necessarily studied by the strategists. I think that's definitely a field which is worthwhile to study for our students and faculties here also. And you know, the International Federation even put out the fake news is an enemy, how to fight the fake news with several strategically methods, principles how to fight them. Of course, this, I happen to be, the family name of my is also Sun, so I can call myself Sun Tzu because I'm so old. And for the art of media war, it's applied everywhere. The reason I put here is because academic research field, I'm doing international political marketing, which is applied to the political marketing principle to the cross-border, cross-cultural field. I will go quickly flip through the theoretical framework of this political marketing structure. So currently, there's a major group in Europe study political marketing. Political marketing, in sense, is like any marketing. The core concept is exchange. Instead of push or propaganda, push your message, political marketing goes through the voters' behavior, psychologically, how to exchange the ideas with the media, with the public. So there's a journal of political marketing, which I was one time on the board of editorial. And there's the American Marketing Association, have some public definition and subject research on this field, political marketing, mostly used by the political consultants. They also use the term of political management. Okay, this book is got out-handed. The Handbook of Political Marketing costs so much, I don't know how they can promote the concept. This is like a forbidden price on the book. And in China, I was the first one to introduce the concept of political marketing in Chinese. This is a journal article I did back in 2007. Then there's the first textbook in marketing, which I wrote a chapter inside for the political marketing chapter. And the mono book I did with another Fudan professor. This is published by Fudan University. So basically, there's 3 top universities in China: Tsinghua, Fudan, and Peking University. This is the recent one, more about international political marketing, which I'm the first one to define this concept worldwide. I remember 30 years ago when I studied in US for marketing, there's very little research or teaching on international marketing. I hope 30 years later, this international political marketing, the nation branding, and the image, and also the soft power research will be a major field for study. So I welcome every graduate student or whoever interested in the subject, contact me after this. I will be available 24/7. Okay, just joke. My wife will be very unhappy. Okay. This is the model I established for the 3 parts of political marketing. Basically, political marketing starts with electoral political marketing, then develop to the governmental political marketing, which is after the White House. You continue political marketing for your policy, for your next term, and for what we call permanent political marketing, permanent campaign. So there's, in the world, there's political marketing international conference. So I would encourage students, you look into it. If anything subject like this you are interested, including international public affair and all this lobbyists, all the subject deal with public opinion. It's a worldwide study. And the model we'll talk about more voting behavior for political marketing. Basically, it's like any marketing field study. The essence, the core of marketing, we call it psychological. It's a science behind the management. So we're all familiar with this psychological model. Pavlov's dog experience. I think everybody is enjoying your food now, so I won't elaborate about salivation. Okay. Psychological conditioning. And this picture, I think it's very interesting. If you look at it, it's more like the dark side. It's Bill Clinton blowing his saxophone. And if you look close on the bright side, it looks like Hillary Clinton with a curling hair and lipsticks. But politically, to those transgenders, they will ask, this is both female and male figure, so you will never be politically correct. So I made this model for voting behavior. Since we only have 15 minutes, if you're interested, we'll talk more about this model later. So this relates to the media war for the elections. Campaigning is always like a war. You're fighting against your opponents in the election. But after all, they all belongs to the same party. In this case, Democratic Party. You see the difference. Nothing is personal. And obviously in 2016, Trump won the media war and won the election by fighting a very tough campaign, initially against the 16 candidates in his Republican Party. And you can see all these candidates, they are all very shrewd politicians. They are very talkative, much more, if they stand here, they can talk 3 days instead of 3 hours. This is how the fight is severe. And after the famous video exploded, they are talking about Trump locker room talk. And the next group of political marketing study is what we call governmental political marketing. In any government, we call this political technology. In China, they welcome this technology, how to deal with promoting government policy, ideology. You all need some kind of exchange with your public on the ideas. Exchange is the key word. You are not pushing, you are not making any propaganda, but you are making people willing to accept your concept or policy. So we're talking about all kinds of war. The war within the White House. And Joseph Nye is a famous soft power, smart power. This novel, seldom read by people, it's vivid picture about how inside the three group, the State Department, Pentagon, and the White House, how they fight the media war. And this famous quote, at that time, Mayor Bloomberg is a Republican mayor, and he's very bold to promote his ideology. He openly said, we are here to get things done. We're not here to debate, because you elected me to be the mayor, I want to get things done. That famous example is he changed the Times Square into pedestrian-only zone. That in a democratic society, you will have lots of media work over there, but he did it. For the Democrats, they have a famous quote in this book. Hillary, I quote her as saying, even if you're 100% correct, if you want to get things done, you still have to compromise with those who disagree with you. I think that's true in any democracy. And we talk about CNN effect, how CNN bring this fellow, he's the son of Governor Cuomo, and he's a lawyer background, very strong background fighting the media war. Every day if you watch the breaking news CNN, you can see him criticize the White House policies. And of course, Fox is always on the right, and Fox is helping Trump to fight his media war by saying media is running permanent obstruction campaign against Trump. So you can see where Fox is standing. Sorry. So the CNN story started with letter. I don't have time to go detailed, and I will quickly. This famous picture is how the White House group fighting the media war. Of course, like any war, you always have casualty. In this case, the casualty is very heavy. Out of the 6 figures, 4 of them already died. So this is my model about international political marketing. We won't have time to go through. But this famous quote about who is paying for the Mexican war. There's a war inside the US also, the media war on this issue. And this is very interesting. International political marketing is like spaceship, cross-cultural, cross-border. It's a very famous case how Trump used his Twitter to fight the media war. In one case, he's talking about the Paris Accord. He's announcing, I'm going to announce US policy, which is international policy guideline with Paris Accord. He's personally controlling the media. Wait until I give the first announcement on my policy. Instead of other country, this announcement should be given by the State Department. I'm okay with time. So instead of talk about Confucius' idea, I think it's better we study three groups of the Chinese history and the philosophy, which starting with Lao Tzu, we talk about 天人合一, is how make harmony among man and nature. And for Confucius, 克己复礼, how to sacrifice for the virtue. And lastly, strategy-wise, Sun Tzu is very useful for any commercial school, media, politics, sports, and war, of course. And this million-dollar question, whether the media war will lead up to peace or Trump's impeach. And back to Professor Wang Dong's point, we call it re-globalization or de-globalization. The examples are vivid. The popularism going on around the globe nowadays, including the Brexit, the popular election for Trump against any idealists, and any trade war going on against the free trade, the free movement of human knowledge and goods. So my conclusion is, based on this, good, I don't need to do the conclusion. Okay, as the re-globalization, I think my self-view is supporting the idea because, as David said, I'm the international director of Business Research Institute of Chester University, so I go teaching and researching UK, but I live in US and do closely monitor for political marketing events. And also, of course, I speak Chinglish from China, so with this globalization, you're welcome to discuss with me anywhere in the world. Thank you.